Okay team, I've marked out the lines that I want to use as a routing guide to apply this to route out the body so I can put the circuit inside. I've made it pretty tight, but we should be fine. It'll fit in there. One thing you got to make sure of is line up your pick guard. If you're going this route, you may not even want to go this where you're just watching this to watch this epiphany. Anyway, so line up your holes so they're lined up, and make sure that the lines that you draw are not showing through, because if you route too far out, you're going to see that gap, and that's going to look, for lack of a better term, butt ugly. So make sure that all your lines are hidden with your pick guard. After we route our cavity, we're going to make a hole, a tunnel, so to speak, from here to run all our wiring. Now we do have this pick guard hole, or no, this is the control cavity hole, so we need to come through right beside it. This side here, since it's curved, that's going to be kind of a difficult place to drill. We'll probably do it from this side. Of course, these corners are going to be curved because with our router we're not going to be able to get this completely square. But we're probably going to come through right here to here. I need to kind of check to see if there's any electronics. You always want to make sure everything's going to clear. I mean, if I drill a hole here and a hole here and then I'm running wires through here and all of a sudden it will not clear a pot that's right here, I've defeated my purpose. So we've got to make sure that now if I drill from here too, I'll be coming in at an angle from top to bottom. So when I start here high, I'll come down lower in the cavity. So that will give me some a little bit of play area, because there's always clearance down at the very bottom. So there we go with that. Another thing I noticed is back when I put this guitar together, I filled it with gold or copper tape. It's kind of coming up in places, and I don't have it around the sides. So I've got some other material that I use. I'm going to do the sides and kind of bring it down to that. This helps for those who are wondering what it cuts the noise, cuts feedback, you know, and electronic frequency noise. So there we go. Moving on. Next step is to break out the router and do a nice little cut. Okay, I'm slightly pissed off. I was digging around trying to find stuff for this project, and I came up short on my router bits. I seem to have misplaced them. So I had to go buy some cheapers, some cheapies, some sweatshop bits. They'll work for the small project that we're going to be using this for, but these are not fun to use. And then also we're using some Forstner bits. It's actually spelled Forstner, but pronounced more like Forstner. These are made for drilling straight down, because with your router, you're really not supposed to plunge a router down into the wood and then work. It's best to run some pilots with the Forstner bit, and you can remove a lot of the wood, the pulp that needs to come out, and then basically just fine tune it with the router, making it easier on your bit. So we will use our Forstner bit in the drill press, probably do about 3 or 4 plunges, get close to what we need to remove, and then switch to our router. Some people will skip this route, put in their router bit, find the depth that they want, and go in at an angle on the project. I'm not a fan of that. Especially if you're using cheap bits, there's hazard there. So anyway, just a quick note where we're at with this, just finding stuff. Oh, and also I found my tape for the cavities, the sound deadening tape, and it's just tape used for HVAC units, but it's got a metal surface on it and a sticky back. This actually works really well. I like this almost better than the copper. The copper is more expensive, way more expensive too. You can get this at Home Depot. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so my drill press has got issues. It's got belt issues. So I'm switching. I'm going to do this by hand. It's doable. Just go slow, and I'll turn you back on when we've got this accomplished. Another trick to using these damn things is make sure you sharpen them before every use. There's plenty. I won't go on how to sharpen them. There's plenty of info on the internet. These are cheap. These are sweatshop Harbor Freight bits. They suck, but they will do the purpose if before every task you give them a sharpen. Sharpening them is not that difficult. Okay, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Now what we've done here is we've saved our router some work, because we would have had to remove this all with our router That's asking it to do a lot. Okay, now notice, of course, I put some tape on the drill bit. That's my depth gauge. So when I was going down, I'd stop at that point. Anyway, yeah, so my drill press, I'm irritated at it, so I had to do it by hand. But anyway, let's get cleaned up and I'll show you what we got going on here. Okay, so we've got a good percentage of the pulp removed, wood, whatever, so our router doesn't have to work as much. Notice I brought this line up a little bit, but I never went beyond this line. I'm pretty close right there. So we'll bring our router right along this line, and we'll bring this one, if we're gonna do any, I think I'll probably bring it this way a little bit, to just for a little bit more room, and probably even a little bit longer. I don't know. We'll see. This is not exact. It's like I said, it's going to be under the pick guard. And then also on the other side, at some point we will be doing the same type of work. I don't have my exact measurements at this time because I don't actually have it. But the battery compartment, you route out a hole, you slip it in, you screw it in, and it's done. That will be probably right about in this area on the flip side. We'll see. All right, so I thought I'd do a quick experiment with the finish on this, the polyurethane. I've got a heat gun and a putty knife. We're going to see how quickly this comes off. So I do see the method to this madness. It's not very difficult. I think I will leave I don't know if you can see that. Here, hold on here. So we've quickly removed the upper layer and have crystallized what's left here. I've never seen this done on a clear before, but it looks like it's very possible. Right here we've got a really good removal, and there seems to be no burning of the wood. That is where we want to stay away from. Now, we are waiting for the battery compartment for this guitar. So I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this area ready, route that out, and then once this is routed out, I think I'm going to actually just go ahead and remove the finish on this thing. I mean, why put it all back together and then take it apart? Why not? I mean, it's here. Let's do this. So now I'm committed. Although I did this under the pick guard, I could just cover it up and wait till later. But this method doesn't seem very difficult, so I think we are going this route. Okay, so the next process is to do a little work on the preamp. Get it all ready to go, and then we're going to replace these pots with push-pull knobs. Talked about those earlier. And then of course wire these two together, and then we're going to be removing this the finish. I'm going to bring this video to a close. I'm trying to keep these videos between 13 and 15 minutes long, and this one's getting a little lengthy. Stay tuned to the next one where we'll be going about the electronics, removing this. I think this is the next process. Stay tuned for the next video. Peace.